Hold on. Let me just think for a second.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Ask me. Ask Eliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions.
What happened?
Oh, what happened?
Well, okay. Do you want to talk about what day it is? It is July 9th.
Yeah, we were going to record and then I just texted Emily. I was like, sorry, I don't think I said urgent care, did I?
You said urgent care,
did.
but like super casually. Like, hold on. You said, hey, I need to run to urgent care. All lowercase. You didn't even capitalize the I. I was like, oh, okay.
I got to run to urgent care. Well, because I was also texting with my manager and she was asking me something like pretty complex. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm at the doctor right now. Because when you, as a woman, when you're like, I'm at urgent care, it's like thoughts and prayers. Like it's like when you post a picture of like a hospital bracelet, like, don't ask. Thank you so much for all your concerns.
But it was a text like, hold on, I just got to take a dump, then we can record. Like, hold on, I just got to run to urgent care. I just got to pick up a few things.
I did. And I went to the primary care building and I was like, there's a lot of people here for an urgent care in such a small community. Went to the urgent care. Nobody was there. Nice man checked me in who checked me in last year when I decided to drill a hole in our door frame without wearing goggles. And I had to get my eye numbed and it was the best hour, the best ocular hour of my life. $25 copay. My stomach has been hurting in such a significant way that when at the onset of it, I had to leave my Zoom because I was like, I'm positive I'm about to have like a deluge of diarrhea.
Yeah. In our last recording, you said it had been 3 days, but that it was on the mend. You thought it was getting better.
Well, now is when we have to tell people that we're actually recording this during the last recording.
Well, good. Yeah, because I do also have something that relates to that. So yes,
Yeah,
we're
recording this
too.
early, but that's fine. We can still talk about how your 4th of July was.
Yeah.
We had to bank it, folks. You know, we've never missed an episode. Emily's going out of town and sometimes we're going to have to bank a lot more coming up because of this movie, which hopefully I can tell you more about soon if the Deadline article doesn't beat me to it. But I was debating talking about this and I was like, do I post a picture of my poop that I took for Patreon?
No.
Well, basically,
no. But
whatever,
did you show the picture to a doctor?
Yeah. So basically we go to urgent care and I'm like, I actually lack the terminology to properly describe how I'm feeling. Like I had to abort a Zoom call because I was like, I'm gonna like just void my bowels.
A Zoom call with people you knew or new people?
With someone I know, of someone I'm writing with. I was like, I don't feel well. And I was like, it can't be the glass of milk I just had. Like I know everyone loves to be like, I can't handle dairy, but like I drink dairy all the time.
Yeah, you're okay.
Whatever. All yesterday, it was like hurting a little bit less. And so today I was like, we're going to knock this thing out. So I did like a full advanced ab workout because sometimes moving your body, twisting your abs, like that definitely helps you go to the bathroom. I drank a shot of olive oil. I'd been taking Metamucil. Like I was like, let's get this out. I go to the bathroom and there was like something in my poop.
Just something hard, something soft.
Something, it was almost as if I had swallowed like the rubber end part of a balloon. Like it almost.
That sounds like a tapeworm.
So I immediately Googled that, but it wasn't. It wasn't
Okay.
anything like that. And I'm looking at this thing in the bowl and I'm like, what is going on? Like, why does it look like that?
I'm so scared.
Me too. Because I'm like, oh, it's colorectal cancer. Because by the way, when you Google any cancer, like one of the signs is always like abdominal pain. Like that is the sign for anything wrong with you. A brain tumor, you have abdominal pain.
Yeah.
So I remembered that Noah keeps latex gloves in the kitchen for different cooking things. So I go in the kitchen, I get a glove, I put my hand in that bowl and I pick up this like gerbil of a turd. Cause I'm like, what is that in there? Cause I'm thinking like, did I eat a piece, like a rubber band and I don't know it? I'm just trying. I remember what I've eaten the last few days and it's all like a bagel. Like it's all very normal stuff that my whole family's been eating.
For a brief second, I thought you were, I was aghast.
This should be our Patreon, by the way.
No, we're getting to this on the main feed. I was aghast because I thought you were saying maybe Noah had accidentally left a latex glove in the food.
No. But I mean, that's what it was just like a weird thing. And
okay, so
I
you
pick
picked it up.
and you can't break it apart. Like whatever this is, I'm saying it's wormy like only because we were talking about worms, but like if you pick up a worm, like it's a solid thing and it's
right.
It's not
it's not
mucusy.
disintegrating. Okay.
It's not disintegrating.
It's a solid.
It's a mucusy solid, like latex, like if you had like fragments of a condom in that you could not break it apart.
Now, if this had come out of one of my cats, I would put it in a Ziploc to bring with me to the
I wish I had,
doctor.
'cause I could have given a stool sample. So I'm just like, okay, what the fuck is this? Of course, I Googled tapeworm. It doesn't look like a tapeworm.
Okay.
Stomach's like feeling a little bit better, but it's still kind of hurting. And there's like pressure. And every time I think I'm going to like rip a big fart, it's like the teeniest thing. And I'm like, this sucks. I'm used to ripping big juicy ones and asking my daughter like, who did it?
Gaslighting your child with farts.
And so and like we're leaving for Nantucket tomorrow. It's like I'm about to leave an island to go to an even more remote island.
Right. You can't be on a ferry with this.
I was just like, I don't feel well. And it's making me anxious. And if I'm being honest, every time I read the news, I get more and more anxious. And like, that's not helping.
No.
And then to top it all off, I have a friend who she has a totally different job, but she's sending me off the chain, not like in the fun way, like off of our communication chain threads about this thing, like a product endorsement thing and, you know, paying into something for stock options. And it's just like a lot of information about an industry. It's like investing in this medical company. And it's like a lot of information that I have people who I pay to process this for me. And I'm just like, my stomach. And when your stomach hurts, when anything about you hurts, like you cannot focus.
Yeah.
Go to the ER. I pay the $25 copay. I have to tell a nurse all of this. I show her the picture of the poop because I took a picture.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, I'll go get the doctor. She comes back. She's like, the doctor's not going to see you. You have to go to an ER. And the ERs are like an hour away and it's raining. And I was just like, well, I'd rather die. Like I'm not doing that.
So we don't know what came out of your butt?
Somehow I see a picture of something and it's called ropeworm. So I start Googling ropeworm, which you cannot get a real article on. It's all like basically like TikTok pseudoscience. And I show it to her and you know you're in trouble when the nurse is like, well, what else does it say? I'm like, no. This cannot come down to me doing my own research. The doctor won't see me. And I was like, can I have my $25 back? There's no way the paper on this chair costs you $25. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'll just feel like a little shitty because I can't risk. It's like we have 2 little kids at home. I don't want to drive an hour away. Like all you ever want to know is that it's not cancer. That's all you ever want to know.
Do you think you have a ropeworm?
So a ropeworm isn't a thing. If you Google it, people are calling it that, but it's like your intestinal lining. So I'm doing my own research, I'm able to call my doctor who calls me.
Okay.
And she was basically like, it sounds like you have a bug and your intestines can shed lining, which they do anyway. She was like, and she described what it looked like. And I was like, that's what it looked like. And it was just like a very like cattywampus way of going about finding out that like I probably just had a bug, even though I've not eaten anything weird.
Right.
And even through abdominal pain, I was like, I'm going to eat a whole dinner-sized order of sesame chicken.
Sesame chicken?
And chow mein. I was so hungry. That's the one thing. It's usually like appetite loss. I'm like, not this girl. Not me.
So you're going to be looking at all your poops for the next few days?
No, I think part of the pain also comes from like the anxiety of not knowing and like just being in discomfort for that long. But it was like scary. You're like, I took a weird shit. What's going on? And the saving grace, like there's no blood. I wasn't going to share this because I'm not one of these people that's like, come with me to the gynecologist.
Saving grace was there's no blood is such a crazy sentence.
Because that's like the symptom for everything. It's like blood in your stool.
I know.
And so it just first of all, I don't know why the doctor here couldn't say that to me. Like the fact that she wouldn't see me at all, I think and there was no one else in the waiting room. So as long as you're busy.
Yeah, I don't know why, like, why can't she talk to you? I don't understand.
But also like, who knows what the nurse said? It's also so vague that it's like, you might need to test. Like my stomach hurts. It's like, if I'm a doctor, I'm like, that could be 100 things.
Right. Maybe they thought they're like, this woman just wants to show us a picture of her shit. It's a prank.
Guys, sorry if I'm just like super turned on by this. And I just was like looking at this nurse and I was like saying to her, like, this is just really hard to make eye contact with a stranger and like describe a bowel movement. She's like, you don't have to look right at me. Like she was very funny about it. But anyways, it's just that thing. It's also the nervous, like the uncertainty of like, do I go? And then like the idea of waiting in an ER, like, do I go? Do I spend these last few hours before I get on a plane at 5 a.m.? And now I'm sure it'll all feel fine. Sometimes once you just go to the doctor.
I guess we'll see if we make it through this recording.
I feel fine now. I'm still going to eat Chinese food. I'm so
Can
hungry.
I ask you about a butthole issue?
Yeah.
Have you ever had when your stomach hurts, but also your butthole really hurts
What kind of hurt?
as part of your stomach?
Like pressure, like when you sit down.
Yeah, where you're like, I need to go to the bathroom, but then you go and nothing happens. You're like, what's wrong with my butthole?
It's not your butthole. It's been my last 48 hours.
Okay.
This is literally what I just described.
Oh, okay. So
There's
then,
all kinds of things. And like my stomach hurt going to bed.
well, I'm glad.
It is crazy the amount of pain we're willing to just put up with to like not have to deal with a healthcare provider. I'm like, look, as long as it's not cancer, like I'm sure I'll get over it. It's also that thing. Sure, there are freak things, but like if you're like they were asking me, they're like, are you allergic to latex? Any medications? Do you take anything? And I was like, I don't take any medicine.
Yeah.
Like I'm a healthy person. I guess I take Flonase, but like that thing is like, if you're healthy, like it's probably fine.
There are very few things I would go to the doctor for. I'll go to the vet, but I'm not going to go to the doctor.
You're like, I'll
most
go
of
to
the
the vet
time.
at the drop of a hat. No problem. That cat looks at me weird. She's thinking about gender dysphoria. She's not sure if she's a dog or a cat. We bring her.
I have a folder on my phone that's cat medical where I keep like the photos of poops and whatnot.
I believe that. And you know what? I get it. But
You should start that for you.
cat medical. It's a
have
new
Eliza
drama on
Medical.
CBS. Yeah.
I'll start notes for you. Eliza pooped a glove.
It's just cat medical, and it's just only everything's like a different caper about a different kind of cat shit, and you're the only star. But you're the star, but you're also like the brainy person that's always at a computer. Like, you know how shows
it's like
always
the show.
have.
Yeah, but we're only
like,
ever
bones.
at the computer.
I wonder who the first one was, because every sci-fi, every action, every law enforcement, there's always like a hot girl who's a dork with like suicide girl bangs that like is eating a sucker at a computer. Like, let me just get into the mainframe.
The ultimate one of that is the NCIS girl. Yeah, which I don't watch because I'm an SVU. But
I wonder if she's an original character or if they based it on something from a comic book or something. Like that archetype of like hot nerd who's just like, I'll just hack in.
yeah, because it's always kind of like that Enid Coleslaw from Ghost World kind of person that's like, I know computers, but also I'm hot. And you're like, okay.
I don't remember the computer part of it. That was a great movie.
She was not in a computer, but it's that look that's like that vibe of like disaffected.
Yeah. Ghost World? Are you sure you mean Ghost World?
Yes.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah. Thelma something.
Oh, this is from when you were in your little old lady phase. Anyways, I will be posting a picture of that turd on the Patreon.
No, we're going to lose people.
We're going to but we will gain so many loyal.
I can't be opening and see a turd. I can't have that.
All right. I'm not gonna. I just
Okay.
really don't feel well.
Do we want to go to questions or do you want me to ask you about my show and tell that I have a
By
question
the way, I have to
about?
say, there's nothing worse than when you feel ill on your way to a quasi vacation, because it's like, cool, now I can spend the day finding a doctor on vacation
Elsewhere.
in Nantucket, or like take a ferry over to Boston. Like, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to be sick.
All right, well, let's do a question. I'll show you the thing I brought later.
Okay.
Hi, Pod Crew. Unique question / am I the worst? My husband and I are in our early 30s and moved with our 2 dogs to a well-known but small neighborhood 4 years ago. While most of our neighbors have been the best we could ask for, we've had several instances of people whose kids seem to have no fear of strangers and their dogs. Context. We have 2 dogs, both are guardian breeds, 85 pounds and 110 pounds. They've gone through intense training and are friendly and well-behaved. Multiple times, our dogs have been confronted by neighborhood dogs that don't walk politely, or their owners are too clueless to notice the issue and allow their children to be dragged down the street towards us by their dog. We've attempted to discuss multiple times with the parents, expressing while we and our dogs are friendly, we don't enjoy the potential fear of their dogs biting ours, especially due to breed stereotyping. Nothing has changed.
Oh, they have pit bulls.
I've got our people, I feel like.
That's where I was
Guardian
saying guardian
breeds,
dog. Yeah.
Am I the worst for considering calling animal control since they seem to have no control, or should I just continue to try to have adult level conversations?
First of all, you can't call animal control. Nothing's happening. It's just kids walking their dogs, and you're afraid that you might have a dog who's reactive, and your dog. I mean, the truth is, if your dog bites, it's a much bigger deal than if another dog bites. Yeah. I think I know that there is this very delicate conversation around pit bulls, and I actually have a bit about it right now, and it's great. And they're a super maligned breed and misunderstood, and people abuse them. And at the end of the day, it is a dog with an incredibly powerful bite. I don't even care if it's a sweet baby. And I think that is part of the responsibility that you assume when you get a dog like this. It's just part of, you're not responsible for other people's dogs, but you are responsible for the fact that if your dog does, as Chris Rock would say, the tiger didn't go tiger. The tiger didn't go crazy. The tiger went tiger. Like if your dog does snap or something, like you have to be so on that dog because you can't control the environment. So I do think it's fair to constantly be saying like, she is sweet, but if you're going to approach her, please do it this way. Like you have to constantly, as whatever you are in this world, be educating and re-educating people. I don't have a guardian type dog. I have a throw pillow with a very thick neck, but I have no problem when kids walk up. I say, let her smell your hand. Do not pet her there, because I am in charge of her safety in that moment. Yeah. And I'm in charge of their safety because they're interacting with my dog.
Yeah.
It sucks. People who get pit bulls, it's almost like they go into it hoping that there'll be this weird conversation and you can prove otherwise. God forbid something happens and you didn't say anything. It's a part of the responsibility. It's like saying I bought a Maserati and I went really fast and then something happened. It's like, well, you shouldn't have. Just because the car has the capability to go that fast doesn't mean you should. So just because the dog has the ability to be sweet and because it has the ability to do that, you have to proceed with caution.
I think this is tough because animal control is not going to do anything about people just like being kind of lax. Like these people aren't technically endangering anyone yet. So you're just going to make the situation worse. You just have to keep reminding them. It is annoying though. It is annoying.
And not everybody knows how to act around other people's dogs. I always have to remind my daughter, like, you cannot put your face, even in Tianfu's face, even though I do it. Like always, I mean, because I was bit on the face by a dog. Like we all have nervousness around our breed of dog, our own experiences. I think it's just constantly being the couple that is, and I think if you walk your dog responsibly, as it sounds like you're doing, people will eventually start to respect that. Like as a dog owner, when I see someone and their dog's on a tight leash and they're giving it commands, I steer clear because I'm like, you are actively like parenting that dog and I'm not going to run up. Not that my dog would ever let me get in the way. So yeah, you got to put those kids in their place. And you always have to be like, these are very strong dogs. So we just always want to make sure that they're comfortable. And you have your dog on a leash. So fucking Bob's your uncle. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess it's like you see a little dog running at you. That's, you know what? If their dog gets eaten by your dog, that's their lesson.
I mean, it's the dog shouldn't be off a leash, but that is you have to then turn your dog around.
Yeah.
Dogs get off leashes. These are animals. Even perfectly behaved, trained dogs on leashes could still snap. We have to account for these things. And so like, I don't know about you, but when I'm like at a farmer's market or in like a crowded space and I have Tianfu and I see a large dog, like a German Shepherd, I always put myself between them because I don't know how my dog's going to react, even though she's on a very short leash.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking responsibility and I move myself away and no one has ever given me a dirty look or anything, but I'm like, all I can control is myself and my animal in this moment. Mm-hmm. You are within your right to just kind of walk away and people will get it.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to prove something with this pit bull. And it's really on you guys. This isn't like maritime rules or airspace rules where like the larger vessel can stay and the smaller vessel has to move out of the way. I don't think that applies in the animal kingdom.
No, unfortunately. But good work training your animal.
Speaking of aeronautics, when I was the other day going through YouTube shorts trying to like kill some time, first of all, I was served a lot of Ariana Grande videos and I like her fine, but I don't think I've ever mentioned her. I think I said I watched half of Wicked on a plane and fell asleep. Like I'm served I was that. And it was a lot of fighter pilot, like glorification military videos set to a sped up version of that. Is it Cranberries or Sinead O'Connor? The In Your Head song. Oh, that's Zombie. That's Shirley Manson. Who the fuck sings Zombie?
Zombie is Cranberries, right?
Yeah, sorry. It's the Cranberries. Have you heard this? It's like the TikTokification of the song. It's like, and it's just set to like different fighter pilots like gearing up, saluting each other. It's like very like jingoist Americana, like glorification of our military. And it does give me goosebumps and it is cool, but it kept serving it. And I'm like, but this is a song about like Irish rebellion and British suppression. And you're playing it over like Blue Angels pilots.
Yeah.
And after like the fifth time, it kind of loses its impact.
Right.
It was that song and it was The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
But it's like this weird EDM version, like the sound of silence in the faded light I saw. And it's just fighter pilots saluting each other and plane formations. And it's like the sound of silence because it's like an aircraft that's stealth. But it served it to me so much with so many different reels of military aircraft.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows what I'm talking about. This whole thing sounded crazy, but it is funny to use this like beautiful song about like Irish spirit over American fighter planes.
I weirdly saw a post about someone who like it's a donut shop or a Baskin Robbins or something. But when there is an air show in town, the Blue Angels, they're like, these 2 dates at the end of June will be cash only because when the boom goes off, it knocks all our card systems offline for a couple days.
That's cool.
So just
Some of
like
that
every
stuff
year.
is cool. Like some of those formations, like how stealth they are, even moving between each other, like inches of distance. And these are 50 billion ton, $8 billion aircrafts just moving like birds in the sky.
Yeah, they're doing good.
I will say I did get like the weird mix of like, but also pride as we step into this nearing war. It was about like bombing Iran, and it was a image of some fighter aircraft, and it just said like they're about to find out why we don't have health care. And there's part of you like, yeah, show them why we're all sick. Here we go.
We're unwell. We're pooping latex gloves and just going home and deciding that's fine.
Shitting gloves and flying like doves. Can I tell you a shout out to my friend Lori Gibbs? And I'm sure I've said this before.
Oh, I love Lori.
Lori
so
says
much.
smoking darts and breaking hearts. And it's so 80s and dirty. And I fucking love it.
I love her.
Smoke a dirt.
We have a question that you're going to love so much, Eliza. Simply because, okay, my question is, how do you deal with selfish bridesmaids? I have already had to kick one bridesmaid out of my wedding party because she chose her friendship with my homophobic mother, who decided not to come to my wedding, over our friendship.
Oh my God, wait, let me make myself some hot cocoa and like settle in.
I know.
Let me turn off my alerts. Let me turn off my phone.
I know.
That wasn't the end of it, right?
No.
Let me get so cozy.
I now have another bridesmaid. So we've lost one already, right?
This is a gay wedding, I'm assuming.
They don't say, but let's assume.
I mean, way to go to the mat on the social issues you care about if it's not a gay wedding.
I know.
But it
Just
feels
like,
gay.
I now have another bridesmaid who thinks I should have to wait for her to get off of work to drive to the bachelorette party and get to the Airbnb almost a day late to my own bachelorette. She refuses to take the train, which is an easy and cheap option, and says she didn't budget for a rental car. Why should I have to wait for her when she's a big girl and can figure it out on her own? She can't ride with anyone else because they all made arrangements to be at the house at the designated time.
Yeah, because I could very easily. Is this the end of it?
That's it. It's like, ugh.
Oh, that's it? That's how you end your paragraph? That's how you end your essay to us?
It's not an essay. They were trying to keep it concise. Just saying.
No, I was all tucked in.
Okay, we lost one bridesmaid.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
May I have the floor?
Yeah.
Now that I'm colorectal cancer free.
Yeah.
I could very easily see this bridesmaid writing in to being like, I've made arrangements. I stepped in at the last minute to save her. I bought the dress. I bought all this stuff. And I'm just asking for them to wait so I don't have to go alone. And they won't.
No, this is not a new person. Let's say there were 3 bridesmaids. One got kicked.
Oh.
One of the others, which is why I think our question asker is more likely to kowtow to her. Like, I'm already down one.
Okay, so one girl dropped out. So there are 3 bridesmaids.
No, one girl got kicked out.
I
don't know how many there are, but let's say
of the remaining ones, one of them is now like, I don't want to do all this stuff alone. Okay.
Wants to get a ride from the bride to the Airbnb almost a full day late.
No.
No.
It sounds like there's a lot of women. It doesn't sound like there's like 3 girls. Otherwise, you're kind of at the mercy of that because then you don't have a party. She'll just have to figure it out. Like this thing where like I'm an adult and I don't want to do scary things. Like we're grown women. We can drive places. You're not asking her to go to a scary neighborhood. Trains are generally pretty safe. It just sounds like she probably has anxiety about traveling alone and she could just meet you for something else. I guess the question is, how important is this person? How integral are they to the partying? It doesn't sound like it's your maid of honor. You guys everybody else budgeted and planned for this. And I'm sympathetic to like, I didn't budget for it, but there's something about that language that makes me feel like she doesn't want to do it.
She didn't budget for a rental car. Get a friggin' Uber. Like, yeah, I think she's being difficult. And I think but here's the thing. How many people are left now at the Airbnb?
That's what I need to know.
It sounds like enough people that you guys will be fine because they're saying,
And also, if it's your bachelorette party, it's only so many days long. Like, you're not Lauren Sanchez. You're probably not having like a yacht for like 3 weeks. So a bachelorette party is like the weekend. So if you wait till Saturday, that means you miss Friday night and then you're leaving Sunday morning. However, I do wonder, it's kind of weird that this is coming up because hasn't this been planned? So why is this coming up now? And if she didn't budget, that sounds like she agreed to a plan and then is having some weird stipulation. I think this person is being a little annoying because they kind of don't want to do it and they're making it about them. These plans were made. All these other girls figured it out.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought I'd go with you guys. It's like, yeah. And I don't know why you weren't able to get work off, or just don't go. There's no reason she can't join you later, but we need more details.
Yeah, but we don't like her. We don't need her. Get her out.
If you have at least 2 other women, don't worry about her. But if you only have one other girl just drinking out of a paper cup, just drinking squirt out of a paper cup, maybe you need her to get the party started.
Squirt. Okay, now I have a question for you, Eliza.
No.
How do you feel? So
By the way, I will say a mark of maturity is, get that out of here. Hold on 1 second. A mark of maturity is, hey, I'll meet you guys there later. Like as we get older, like I almost drove myself to the ER just now and I was just like, whatever. But I did make a big deal about it and I did make him drive me. But as we get older, it's like, I'll meet you girls there. Where was I recently? We were going to like some dance party and I invited everyone over. And the truth was my house was out of the way. And I was like, I'll just meet you ladies there. And they're like, no, we'll come to you. And I was like, I traverse the globe, usually alone, sometimes with one. Like I can get to Los Feliz. Like I can walk into a bar by myself.
Yeah. You want to go somewhere nice.
I do so many things alone because I'm a comic.
Yeah, it's easier. Okay, I have a question.
Okay, don't show me that watermelon is too political.
No, it's okay. It's a mini. So I ordered stuff from Misfits Market where I got like old stuff. They included this also for free.
With a sticker?
And with a
You don't want this to be the Patreon? The watermelon's very triggering. This is not good enough for the Patreon.
I don't understand. I don't want this. What's
happening? It's a watermelon.
What do I do with? But look, it has little webs on it and stuff.
Oh, that's
but
fine.
They gave it to me for free, growing. So I can eat this. I just chop it up and I eat it.
What kind of watermelon is it?
It's a Dulcina Pure Heart mini watermelon.
You're like, it's a globalized, the Antifada mini watermelon. That's going to be delicious.
Okay, they gave it to me for free, I think.
Cut it open right now. Emily, cut it open. You cut it into like segments. Just cut it open, scoop it out with a spoon. It's going to be so good. And I will tell you something that was a weird cultural misunderstanding, yet cultures coming together. Noah was working with, I guess I'll call him a client.
Okay.
And the only reason this is important is for the story, and he's black. And I made a joke. Somebody brought a watermelon and I, just given what's been going on since October 7th, I went, no, we can't eat that, too political, which is crazy. Of course, we need a watermelon. Yeah. And he laughed at the too political thing. And I was like, oh, I think you're laughing for like another, like for a different, like deeply rooted American racism version. Mine's totally different.
Do you have to explain to him all the connotations of watermelons across the world?
Well, I will tell you, growing up, Aaron, who I never talk about, was my best friend since I was 3, was black and continues to be black. We had like a lacrosse team party and I wanted to make like a melon basket and carve it and make it beautiful, which of course you could do as a sophomore in high school. Of course, you're going to deliver such artistry to that melon. And I show up at her house and I ring the doorbell. I'm holding this giant watermelon, and her TT, her aunt, opens the door, and I'm just holding it. And I was like, I need you to help me carve this. And she goes, I'll do it, but I don't want to hear nothing about no black ladies and watermelons. And I was like, I didn't know anything. And I was just like, okay, we don't have to talk about it.
Right. Just are you allowed to have the big knife?
Yeah, she did it for me.
That's
it was too
nice.
hard. Yeah.
I just feel like watermelon's too much work for what you get out of it.
Cut that open right now. Go get that spoon.
No.
It's going to be so refreshing because I know it's so hot where you live. That little watermelon is going to be so sweet.
I'm not
and you know what?
cracking
I'm
it
gonna
open
help you.
at 9 p.m. I'm
It's
going to do it
You know
tomorrow.
what? It's probably the only water you're going to have today.
I'm going to do it tomorrow and I'll give you an update.
May to September is watermelon season, so we're in peak season. No, just do it now. You wanted to show it to me. Why
I
do
did
you
want to
think
show it.
What do you think a watermelon's supposed to look like? Just like a gargantuan thing with like black seeds lined
Yeah,
up?
because I didn't order it, I got a box that had other stuff in it and then a surprise.
I'll tell you what, in COVID, we did those produce boxes and it was just all like rutabaga. Remember we had that person that was like, what do I do with all these chives?
Yeah.
The angels smiled upon you when they gave you a watermelon and now you're like, I don't want to eat it. Next time you're just going to get a whole bunch of kohlrabi and you're not going to know what to do with it.
Well, you know what? I need to save it because I'm seeing my parents this weekend, so I'll share it with them. I'll share
Cut
the
that
bounty.
into the tiniest watermelon basket. Like a dull
I'll go
knife.
carve it.
Yeah.
I do. Okay. Well, this is good. This was helpful. Thank you. Now it is time for you don't want to do confessions anymore. Do you want to do another pet song?
No, we can do confessions.
Well, I'm not.
I was going to take a hot bath, but then I didn't.
No, because we just got one like moments ago and it's a confession from a therapist.
Oh, yeah. Let me hold on. Let me re-pour
yeah.
the cocoa and settle into my cozy blanket.
Because I feel like a therapist really needs to be able to tell us a secret.
I gotta dump out that mental load. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Eliza and Emily. I'm a longtime listener, huge fan. I've been hanging on to this non-tender confession for years and have never said this out loud to anyone. Here goes.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Yeah, if you up your game, we'll keep doing confessions. I have been a therapist for 15 years, so theoretically, I should have good coping skills, right? Wrong. A few years ago, I found out my husband and father of my children had been cheating on me. I was not expecting this news and was in total shock. Honestly, I should have cut him loose long before this for other reasons, but lying and cheating, that was the last thing I expected. And there was no coming back from it. For about a week after finding out, I continued on with our daily routine and acted as if I knew nothing. Meanwhile, behind his back, I met with 2 different lawyers to talk about my options, printed bank statements, had the finances sorted, etc. I broke into his phone while he was sleeping, grabbed screenshots of the pictures and messages they had been sending to each other. I found the name of the
so you
woman
were
he had been
still
cheating
sleeping with each other? Like he was still in the bed?
Yeah, this is a long game. I searched for pictures of her with her husband, found out her husband's name, where they both work, their emails, etc. With this detailed information in my back pocket, I finally confronted him. I was calm, collected, and calculated.
I misread that. I thought she'd already divorced him. She's like, and then when he was sleeping. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, she's waiting.
Got it.
Like a game of cat and mouse, just giving him the bare minimum of information I knew so I could continue catching him in more lies. I would calmly correct the next lie with more information than I knew. Oof. He was frantic. He had no idea how much information I actually had and what I was going to do with it. Of course, I had to keep things civil and rational for the kids, but he did indeed move out that same day. Now for the confession. And this is, Eliza, remember, this is one of your listeners saying, finally, something intense and not sweet.
I'm ready. It's giving me indigestion. I'm into it.
During the whole week leading up to the confrontation, my now ex-husband had been brushing his mouth with a shit scrubber. A toothbrush by day, toilet brush by night. And I felt nothing but pure joy, sipping my morning latte with a smile while he brushed shit particles all over his teeth. I'm not even sorry because holy, literal fucking shit, it felt good. Love, Anonymous.
I didn't see that coming. That is beneath you. I thought this was going to be like, and then I presented with these and I went to a court and I took him for everything that he had.
I will say, anybody whose spouse cheats on them, do exactly what this person did.
Why do I feel, yes, but why do I feel like this is not the first person to be like, and then I did something weird with their toothbrush?
It's not. That's why I think it's very sweet and funny that they're like, I went nuts. I did something with the toothbrush. But it is like, that does cross a line into, you could have made him sick.
Yeah, had good luck proving it.
Noah's doing that to you and that's why you don't feel well?
Maybe he's like, you make me stay up late watching TV and I'm sick of it. I guess all's fair in love and war. You've done well to keep that anonymous. I guess you could lose your license for that. You know what makes me mad about myself? and maybe some people listening were also thinking this, she did, I don't know if it's all the right things, but you were very smart about the way you went about collecting all this. But there is, for a split second, you're like, wow, like psycho. Like doing all that. Like there is this weird thing built into our society where when a woman and you're not, I'm just speaking out loud. There is something when a woman takes any action, how quickly she looks crazy, even though nobody takes into account what drove her there and what you're doing, because women are not seen as like, I guess we're seen as more sedentary creatures. Like the amount of work it took to do all that, which is more than most women would do. You probably just go to court, battle it out. What you did was right, probably because you were very good at school. You know, you're a therapist and you're a methodical person.
Yeah.
But it does speak to the way that we do judge women who are actually like out to get not even revenge, but justice for yourself.
Yeah.
How like any woman that does a little too much, it's like, whoa, busybody. And it's like, yeah, I can't just lay here and get fucked.
Yeah. But I love it.
Yeah. I mean, the other version is you could write a movie about it and sell it to Netflix. Starring Ryan Hansen. You could do that.
While we're doing confessions, let's do another one just because this person wrote in like they really like wrote this. So let's give them their due.
Same person?
No, a different person.
She's like, update, he died. That toothbrush was a bad idea.
He got sepsis.
Okay.
But they said, this is my confession, sung with Eliza's rasp. Do you have a rasp?
I think I have a distinct voice, but I don't know. Rasp is like Lindsay Lohan, like vocal fry.
Hi, Liza and Emily. I'm a 42-year-old gay male with a master's degree because that detail somehow feels relevant. It is.
Of course.
And my husband and I are huge fans of the pod. We even flew to Salt Lake City for the taping of your special and met you after. Eliza, that outfit was giving. Share turn back time. We were gagged.
Mother is giving. It was share turn back time. Thank you. That's the
now
hot
to the
tea.
confession.
Okay.
I met my best friend Matt on our first day of college. We've been close ever since. Over 20 years of solid friendship. He's kind, wears his heart on his sleeve, all the things that make you want to protect someone from the dumpster fire that is dating. After college, Matt met a woman named Tina. They fell in love, got married. She seemed great. Friendly, normal, all good. Until a few years into the marriage when she got emotionally cozy with a gay friend named Charlie. Matt was assured there was nothing to worry about. Cut to a week before Christmas, she leaves him without warning. It was a full-blown holiday meltdown. I spent the next few days at Matt's place trying to help him stay afloat and find a little holiday spirit amid the mess.
That's
then 6
movie.
months later, I know, bam, Tina is engaged to Charlie. Turns out Charlie wasn't totally gay, more like gay adjacent, bi, cue the collective gay gasp. Naturally, I was livid. While at Matt's one day, I decided to do some very healthy, totally rational investigative work. So I downloaded Grindr. And there he was.
He's there.
Charlie, online, single, looking to hook up with dudes, featuring thirsty profile pics. Being the loyal best friend that I am, I took screenshots, all of them. Then I created a fake phone number.
Wait, why did you download Grindr? Like, were you just like, I know, but were you just
Charlie?
You just like, I bet I'll find him. Like, I bet he, but you, at that point, you thought he was straight.
Well, they had been told he was gay. Then he married Tina.
Married Tina. And then, and it broke your best friend's heart.
Yes.
When Charlie, right. So you know that, but so it's just like, you know that your best friend's heart was broken because now he's with the best friend's ex-wife. What made you think, were you just like, I bet he's still a little gay? Like what gave off your spidey sense to be like, I'm going to download Grindr and find Charlie?
I bet he met Charlie and was like, yeah, that guy is gay.
You're like, something's not right here. Okay.
All right. Well, then I created a fake phone number. Shout out to tech. Just technology. Sent those screenshots to Tina, her mom, stepdad, her dad, her siblings, basically everyone but the family dog. Later that night, while enjoying a lovely dinner with Matt, my burner number started blowing up with frantic, profanity-laced texts from Charlie. Guess it didn't go over well.
And he didn't know who that was because it was a burner. Oh, wow.
I showed Matt what I did, and for the first time since Tina wrecked his world, he genuinely smiled. It was worth it. Fast forward 8 years, Matt is remarried, has a kid on the way, and my husband loves telling this story to our friends. Matt and I still laugh about it. As for Tina and Charlie, they apparently got married, but I know there were some very uncomfortable holiday dinners for a while. Yes, I did technically out someone. I know that's breaking the cardinal rule, but I did it in the name of justice and healing. So I pray that gay gods forgive this one fabulous act of vengeance. Kick it, David.
David, that is a fabulous act of vengeance. And what I love about it was you were there for your best friend. Like everything was motivated by being there for your best friend. I love that you have a straight best friend. And I love that you did all of that. I also actually think, because you could classify Charlie as bisexual, which makes sense because he's having sex with men, and presumably Tina. The only crime committed by Charlie, unless it was like a lavender marriage, the only crime committed by Charlie is that he lied and said he was single.
Yes. It's just like if you had gotten Tinder pics.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? They sound annoying, and the crime committed by Tina was gaslighting your friend. So fuck them. That's amazing. I am all for these violent protective acts in the name of actually protecting a friend. And I don't think we see enough of that. I think we get a lot of like, my friend's upset. What can I do? And it's just like, here's how to take action and be about it.
Right. Go
Ask
nuts.
about me. That was great.
Yeah. All right. Now we got a low stakes question,
By the way,
Eliza.
the gay gods, the gay gods will forgive you. Say one Hail Mary's hamburger Hamlet.
Yeah, because I also don't get the feeling, because you were Matt's best friend and Matt was married to Tina, I don't get the feeling you're living in a particularly dangerous place where you knew that this would put Charlie in any danger. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not at all
It went
malicious.
to his friends and family, and you know what?
I mean, it's malicious, but it's not malicious, you know? Yeah,
no, that was
you're
great.
Good. Okay, hi gang, super low stakes question. Eliza mentioned using a red light mask. Can you tell me the brand? I would love to get one, but there's so many on the market, and I don't know which brand to trust. There are so many for sale. I'd like to invest in one that works and isn't harmful. Thank you. And someone else said, I would love to know this too. Now, Eliza, this feels like a product where there's probably 1,000 on Amazon. You know, on Amazon, how there's like companies that are just like, your job.
Yes. They're all
me.
Have you know, like they're all like Chinese companies, and it's like almost, it looks like an AI wrote English. You're like,
and they're using the same product shot, and you're like, which of these is real?
I'm looking it up right now. I have two, I'll be honest, and I'd have to go in the other room and look it up. I don't want to endorse one over the other. A good one runs about $400. I suggest when you do get one, I want to say this is the brand.
We can report
Here's
back.
why I'm not going to tell you the brand.
Okay.
I don't want to endorse this brand. And I think that there are plenty of brands that make comparable quality ones. Okay. And I do think a real red light mask is around $300, $400. There's more expensive ones. There's ones that do different levels of red light and blue light, which is kind of more for acne. So I hate to say do your own research, but I do think this is a case of like comparing, read reviews. Plenty of beauty sites do those.
But not like a $50 one. Yeah.
Don't do that. That's probably literally just a red Christmas light.
Yeah.
If it's too cheap, you're not going to want to use it. I don't think you should ever skimp when it comes to genuine beauty. Here's a GQ article, 13 best LED face masks. So do your own, find your own price point. You don't need me to tell you which one it is. If they paid me, I would tell you, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, I think that's fair.
For what it's worth, they always show the mask on and the woman doing stuff. I don't know how you could get anything done with that red light in your eyes. No. And they say it's fine. Someone's like, it's even good for you. I don't buy that. And I think in a few years, we're going to be like, oops, turned out a lot of people went blind. I am all for close your eyes for the 10 minutes it takes to do this.
Yeah.
Do not do it. You don't need to multitask that hard.
No. Okay, then we have another quick one. Hello, all. I don't have social media, so I'm asking here via email. Yes, please email us at askelizapodcast@gmail.com with your questions. We love it. So, Christina asks, I am rewatching War Paint and noticed you swear a lot in this special compared to your newer ones. Was curious if this was something that naturally happened or a deliberate choice. I'm really enjoying rewatching your old specials. I think that's a very interesting question.
I think I've always said this, strategically placed F-bomb is a thing of beauty. I think the older I become, the more well-rounded my ideas, the more eloquent I become, the less I use it. I think when I started, if I had to think about it, because I still say the F word, but I think when I started, there was you almost needed to be a little bit more aggressive, and I had a very aggressive style, and it was like, let me get these people to listen to me. Like I was fighting for every minute I got you to pay attention.
Yeah.
And I think it was still at a time where it's like, whoa, like a girl is cursing. And then we had the wave of like dirty female comics. And like even to this day, it's like, whoa. And now, well, actually not even to this day, because now it's like commonplace for people to be super sexual and explicit on stage. So, but at the time, I think I was just so forceful. And sometimes I say it now and I watch the tape. I'm like, that was aggressive. Because even when I hear it, sometimes you're just like, why did you say that? So I guess it's not so much that I'm mindful, but I don't say it as often in my stand-up anyway. I think I've just matured.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, one more question before cops. Hi, Eliza. Emily and all babies, fur-filled and hairless. I've been a follower of the podcast and Eliza's comedy since pre-COVID. I mean, it could have been longer, but okay.
Yeah.
I actually met Eliza in Columbus, Ohio, days before the world shut down. I have a picture of us holding hands.
Yeah.
Now, to get to it, I, 28-year-old female, come to you today seeking your advice on how to handle dating and a new relationship now that my brother has come out to us as trans. My brother is 25 years old. We'll call him Gary, and he told my dad and I about wanting to transition back in October. Gary also informed my dad and I that he had already started hormone replacement therapy. He has not changed his name and still wants to use, he, him pronouns.
Gary is becoming a woman. And
no,
Gary was a woman.
Trans brother, so
became a
my
brother.
My brother has come out as trans. Okay, so wait, so I can't tell if
Just
Gary.
Keep reading.
Okay,
keep reading. Because at the end of the day, it's like Gary's bridesmaid is a bitch.
Right. My mom had known for a month prior to my dad and I finding out, and she hadn't told a soul after promising Gary she wouldn't. How she kept it together is beyond me. But besides my parents and I, no other family members know about Gary to this day. So this was October. At the time, I was in a serious relationship with my boyfriend, who I ran to after finding this out. I was distraught, confused, and did not see this coming. My family life had been flipped, and what I thought I knew of my childhood no longer was the same after the hours-long conversation with my brother and my parents. I ended my relationship a few months ago, and I've started going on dates again. I've been seeing a guy for a month now, and I can see it becoming serious. I have not told him about Gary or made any comments about trans people. I know I have to tell him eventually, but I'm scared and honestly enjoying the escape of my never-ending anxiety and stress-filled family life. I know my extended family, grandmas, cousins, uncles, and aunts, will find out eventually, either from rumors in our small town or Gary telling them. Either way, my extended family finding out about this is going to be very triggering for me, as this is a very vulnerable topic and situation. So, how do I tell a man that I am starting to date and have feelings for about my brother being trans? I'm scared that my extended family will find out sooner, and I don't want to explain the situation to the guy I'm talking to with all the dramatics happening within my family. On top of this, my mom has already threatened to divorce my dad if he does not get on the bandwagon of supporting Gary. I don't want to play it off as no big deal to him because it's not. It's messy and scary, and so many things are unknown. My therapist suggested telling a random guy I go on dates with